Things are, the kids still love the school. Our music program is still the best. We have great years with our football teams and our athletics, and we have tough years. It's the same exact cycle. What's interesting is we have as many girls' sports as guys' sports. In 1970, we only had a male athlete of the year. 2 years later, we became a little bit more egalitarian and started having a female athlete of the year and a male athlete of the year. Our girls and guys just make us proud.
And Donna, I did a lot of work with Donna at the high school, and she was the principal there. I'd always start off my talks as, here's my classmate from high school.
Is
they'd
that
be impressed
not the
with that.
coolest thing?
Oh, people really liked
that.
it.
Our classmate became the principal.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
And my kids, three of them went through Dartmouth High School, and she was there. And people really, there was a connection there, because they knew that I went, that she went, my kids went, and the whole entire school. She had a wonderful connection there, so. And she did a great job.
But of course, why wouldn't we want to have our teachers with us? Doris Sapuka, Al Porter, Art Bennett, Judy Robinson. I mean, just amazing. And to see Al Porter, who I asked in a phone conversation, I said, Al, I actually didn't say Al, I said, Mr. Porter, how old are you? And he said, 76. I said, so you're only 18 years older than us? Somehow that doesn't make sense. You're supposed to be older than that. And he said to me, well, you're not supposed to be as old as you are.
Well, the committee that set this up did a hell of a good job. They were beating the bushes, and I think that made a hell of a difference.
I don't drink because I don't need to.
Yeah, I don't need to either.
Crazy without it.
I am Vicki Abbott Bancroft, and a proud member of the class of 1970. Very happy to be here tonight for our 40th reunion. And my friends and I have something in common here. None of us were at Dartmouth High for the full 4 years. I had a cameo appearance in 7th grade after Cushman School at Poole School, and then I moved away for a couple of years, but returned here for the summers. So I kind of felt like I never left, but I really did.
I'm Vicki Cedarholm, and it has been, I think the last reunion I came to, or was able to come to, was in 1985. I'm really thrilled to be here. There are so many people that I've been so happy to see. Donna Murphy, Dave Hastings, Susie Conlon, Tom Tansey, Larry Walder, Sandy Pliskin. I mean, I could go on and on. It's just been a thrill to see everybody.
Yeah, it's my first one. It's my first one.
What do you think of it?
I think it's great. A lot of people I haven't seen in a long time. A lot of my former teammates, and a lot of people I hung around. A lot of good times we had in school. And
What team?
basketball. Basketball team, yeah. Yeah. I stopped playing football after I left junior high school, and I got injured in my final game, and said I'd never play the game again. So I never did, and I just stuck to basketball and enjoyed it. Enjoyed every minute of it down to that.
I went to the last one that was at Allendale Country Club, and so maybe that was the 25th, or I don't think it was there, maybe the 25th. But, I'm back in the Dartmouth area. I've been back here for a number of years. After high school, and the strong influence, as many have said about Carlin Lynch and Don Doyen and many of the athletic department, that kept a very, very strict eye on all of us and tried to keep us in line. We got a very wonderful, good work ethic from them.
I remember it was in Fairhaven, and it was nice, but it was still kind of fresh being out of high school, so it wasn't anything like tonight. Tonight for me has been overwhelming. Seeing so many people that I hadn't seen for so many years, and I thought, I'm not going to recognize half of these people. I know they're not going to recognize me, but everyone looks great. You know what I mean? This has just been a wonderful night for me. I've been looking forward to this, oh God, for ages. I feel like I was getting ready for a wedding tonight.
Really?
Oh, this is great. I've been to one other, the 30th, and couldn't make 35, but here for this one, and it's great turnout. I'm shocked some of the people look like as good as they do. I mean, I'm not going to say names, but there's some people here that are in great shape, and it's genetics and working hard, I guess. I know in the beginning we didn't have quite that many, but it got bigger towards the end, and tonight's a great turnout.
It's been a very, very interesting night. I haven't been to a reunion probably for the last, I think, 2. So I think the last was probably about the 25th or something that I was at. So very interesting to see everybody again. I'm very glad we have these little pictures on the name tags this year to help you sort of put the name together with the person.
Oh,
This
best.
is
That's the best.
the best by far.
Really?
Yeah. There's
In-
so
in
many
what way?
people here that we haven't seen in a long time. But also, it's the spirit is just fabulous, and everybody's feeling so warm and I was saying to Tom before, comfortable. I feel so comfortable with people that I haven't seen in 5, 10, 40
years. 40 years.
Yeah.
You haven't been to one?
I have. I think I went to the 5 and 25. So I haven't been for 15 years. It's been quite a while.
Yeah.
But I feel the same way. You see people you haven't seen in like David or Laura, Andy, and you know, many, many, many years. And, it's like you just saw them yesterday.
I think it's been a really great experience. 40 just had a special ring to it. Probably the last one I went to was 20 years ago. I hadn't been, but when the paperwork and things came around, it's like 40 years. I mean, to do anything for 40 years, it to me is a great accomplishment. And I said, 40, yeah, I got to come. You know, I need to be here. You know.
Valerie Sykes Marolo. Box 972, Mattapoisett, Massachusetts. And there's the 2 Valerie Sykes Marolos. Valerie Guido has picked up Berglund. Oh, this is called Stay Busy, It's Good For You. So you don't need Kevin for this.
After 35 years, I retired a year ago and then realized I really couldn't stay away from kids. And now I'm teaching French at Barrington Middle School. But I'll tell you, my blood is green. I still hit those football games. My heart hurts when my kids don't do well. And I'm still a band member.
I don't know. I mean, you know, I've done a few things. I mean, of course, you know, family, you know, raising a couple of kids, you know, and seeing them often that and my wife, and that's all been terrific. I ran a show band that basically toured the eastern half of the U.S. and Canada for about 10 years, and you know, so I had to take care of basically in and out of Revenue Canada and all that. And so it was quite a challenge, but it was interesting in its own right. Got to meet a few people along the way.
Well, let's see. Went to Florida to go to college. First semester on the dean's list, second semester on the shit list. Found about beer and wine, and came back. Went to UMass Dartmouth. Got married. Got my MBA. Went to law school. Got divorced. Been teaching at UMass for almost 30 years now. Got remarried, and you know, life is good. 3 kids, can't complain.
I've been very fortunate to be in leadership roles in my work. You know, I was an executive dean. I've been a CEO of a community mental health center. I've had nice jobs. Al Porter made me a squad leader when I was a sophomore. Really? I was a fat, uncoordinated, unathletic person. Right. And Al Porter said, "You can be a leader. I'm going to make you a squad leader in gym class."
Really?
And I told him that tonight. I told him that on the phone before I invited him. I said, you know, it's people like you, it's mentors like him who don't even realize they're mentoring you when they give you opportunities like that. And that little thing, believe it or not, has really stuck with me. You know, all right, cool. Did I work hard? Yeah, I worked hard. Did I learn things? I learned some stuff, and I got some nice degrees from nice places. But the fact is, he had a lot of faith in me. Doris Sapuka did too, for the yearbook. So I've been on several continents in the world, seen amazing, swam in the North Sea, swam in a glacial stream in Switzerland, been at the coast of Africa. I have not seen a beach that is any prettier, ever, than Round Hill Beach.
Do I know a funny story about David?
Sure.
David and I did community theater in Andover for probably 10 years. I produced about 8 plays. David was my stage manager. And one night he said something about Dartmouth High, and I said, "David, why are you saying Dartmouth High?" And he goes, "I went there." I said, "No, I went there." And he said, "What year?" Turned out the same years. And there's even a picture of the two of us in the 1967 yearbook together. And I didn't even know.
Oh, that's a riot.
Isn't that so funny?
I didn't know
Small
that.
world.
Really?
Small world. And he's one of my best friends, but it happened when we had kids in Andover.
I have just moved back to the area after being away for 21 years, homesick the whole time. So being with people who have known me for a long time, even if we haven't spoken in a long time, is really wonderful.
The thing I'm most proud of is what I'm doing right now. BBA basketball, Borough Basketball Association. I'm most proudest that I've been. Tom will tell you. Tom Rex and I came down there together, but he knows what it's me. It's what I should have done. I should have went to college. Should asked me to go to school to be a coach, to go be a teacher and stuff, and that wasn't me. Boy, was I wrong, because that's one of the things I would change, because I'm all about kids. That's what we're all about. We started in my backyard. We had 10 years, 120 kids there. Then we expanded. We got land from Dartmouth. We put on 12 acres of land. We get 5 outdoor courts, 2 sand volleyball courts, 2 tennis courts, walking track, playground that we're trying to raise money for now. And we're just getting ready to build a building with 4 indoor courts. And that's why one of the reasons I left Sears, because my wife told me, she says, you got to get out. You got to get this going. She says, it's not getting done fast enough. And I took a year off and took a leave of absence and was supposed to go back and never went back.
As far as accomplishments, I've accomplished an awful lot. I've seen the world a few years after I'd gotten out of high school. I just think I'm able to appreciate people and feel for people, their sensitivities. And I think that's come from the group of people that I was friends with growing up and going to school with.
I did 4 years of teacher's college in Westfield, Massachusetts, and got a teaching degree in history, but not many jobs. So I joined the Air Force because I wanted to be involved in airplanes. So I was a navigator in the Air Force. Went to officer school, navigator school, did that for a few years, 4 years. Went to in the F-4 Phantom, then went to pilot training, which I always wanted to do. And I got a chance to fly transports around U.S., Europe, Africa, stuff like that. And then after that, I became an instructor pilot, and I taught the very beginning students, from day one. And that was exciting. They weren't used to flying or anything, so I got a chance to be with them at the very beginning, and that was a lot of fun too. Finished off 25 years of Air Force time, and then did 10 more as a contract flying an Air Force training airplane on missions out of San Antonio, Texas. And that just finished last week, so so that's a total of 35 and a half years, something like that. It was all good. Yeah.
I became an electrician, owned my own electrical contracting business for 23 years, and now I'm retired and went back to school to be a chef. And learned to cook a lot of nice stuff and gained a lot of weight, so I went back to being an electrician.
So when we graduated, I went to UMass Amherst with Steve Rudman, Diane Signorella,
I remember Steve.
yeah, Steve, Donna Hodson, I believe she was there with us. And we had a lot of fun. We were the little Dartmouth clump, but you know, we met other people too. And I really loved being at UMass Amherst, but they did not have what I determined to be my major, which was physical therapy. So I had to transfer to, of all places, an all-girls school in Boston, Simmons College. Yuck. Okay, wonderful school, nice part of Boston. I am not a city person. It was okay, I got my degree, but I didn't have any fun. I really didn't. I don't have any friends from there. So Dartmouth High is really important to me.
I got my start at Dartmouth. Yeah, okay. That's why
Well, my oldest has got a PhD in computer engineering. My middle kid is manager in a communications company in Boston, and my younger guy, a little bit like I was in high school, pain in the ass, but he's going to be an Eagle Scout, and he'll turn out okay.
I have 3 boys. Brian's 30. He's a professional photographer, married to a medical student who is a wonderful girl. A 25-year-old, Eric, he just moved back home so he can finish school, thank you God.
Yeah.
And he works at Gold Medal Bakery full-time. And my baby is 19 years old, Mark, and he's in the Marines, deploying to Afghanistan in December. Not too happy about that.
But we thank him for his service to our
Thank
great
you.
country.
I have a son who is in the Dartmouth area, in the car business with one of the local car dealers, and then I have a daughter who just graduated from University of Connecticut and is living in Boston and is working for an environmental fundraising organization. And so that's very, very gratifying to see those two doing so well, and it's been very, very gratifying.
Yeah, I think every generation blames the one before for not being a listener or a good parent, or how could you do this to me? And it's just, I think it's a rite of passage, and at some point in time, everybody gets a little smarter, and you hope that it
And
happens.
not too long after 18, because at that age, that is what you think. People our age are invisible. But
Yeah.
then a few years go by, and all of a sudden, you start appreciating your parents again. And I'm happy to say that my 23-year-old son is getting that way with me.
Cool.
So I don't think I'm as invisible now as I was a few years ago.
Well, I think when you're younger, proportionally summers last a hell of a lot longer. Lately it just seems like they fly by too fast. But there's lots of times traveling, going to the beach, hanging around town. Those were the days before hanging at the mall ever hit us.
Really enjoyed seeing everybody that we went to school with. And just started to think about my high school days recently and how naive everybody was, and what we know today, I wish I knew then.
David raised Donna, the name of Donna Hodgson tonight, and I just wanted to say how much I missed her and what a wonderful shining star she was, even though she left us a long time ago. And to say hi to her.
It was so wonderful to see people who've dealt with severe health crises. Debbie Bowers, made it through a bone marrow transplant. made sure she was going to be here. She looks fantastic. Pat Dallaire, courageous. Just had major surgery, life-threatening surgery on the 20th of September. Wayne Hamlet just had an artificial knee put in this week. He struggled to get in here. You know, some people just look so happy to see each other and to know that, and, you know, that in some small way, when Warren Barkley ran me for junior class president, that he gave me the opportunity to be able to do this, you know. And then when he ran me again as senior, and I remember him saying, you know, you think a Jewish kid from Brooklyn is be able to be the Dartmouth High School class president? You're not Portuguese. How are you going to do this? You know?
Donna Hodgson and Judy Mello were so
So
young.
nice.
So young, in their
They were
20s.
Beautiful, beautiful people.
And all I can say is thank David Hastings for going and seeing Warren over the 4th of July
I love
weekend
him.
and being with Warren as he
And
passed
bringing
away.
all our good wishes to him.
Yep.
Exactly, he did. He
Yeah,
did.
he was great. It was hard when I learned that Nancy Hall passed away because she was a neighborhood friend, a Cushman school friend, lived 3 blocks up from me.
We had good
and,
times with
yeah,
Nancy Hall.
we hung
Were
around
you
a lot.
friends with Nancy?
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. So, you know, you never know. So you have to enjoy every day and do the best you can to keep yourself healthy.
So every year I saw us all. You know, I saw the Denny Correias, I saw the Vicky Cedar Holmes, I saw the Jimmy Foxes and the Paul Ericksons, and I saw the Jay Regans and the Dave Hastings over and over again. Students that filled those big shoes and just loved every minute of being in high school. I also saw the kids, that, some of them are my good friends, who didn't enjoy high school as much, but they're here at the football games or they're here at the reunion. I loved being at Dartmouth High School, and I'm having the time of my life and grateful to be a member of the class of 1970. Thanks.